Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Sage Show. Now, today, there's so much on the agenda. I feel like the past week has been sort of a fever dream. Just everything has happened all at once, all the time, and it's horrible. I usually get a lot of my news, a lot of my triggers for news on TikTok, and then I go research other places. But I was scrolling on TikTok, obviously, and I was seeing all this about Diddy not being guilty. Now it just hits a weird chord for me because look at me. He has been under 5 different counts. I have them all right here. Count number 1, racketeering conspiracy, not guilty. Count number 2, sex trafficking, also found not guilty. Count number 3, transportation to engage in prostitution. Now that one he was found guilty in. Sex trafficking, however, once again, count 4, not guilty. And count 5, transportation, once again, to engage in prostitution, guilty. So you're telling me, basically, that he was only found guilty and only charged for taking different people in an airplane to go engage in prostitution. Not that he engaged in it, he just transported other people to engage in it. Do you know how sick that is? Truly, there's tons of evidence to support the fact that he has been in sex trafficking. He has been in prostitution. He has done all these horrible things and enslaved so many different people, whether it's not only just celebrities, young celebrities, but random, just different people in his life. In a way, it teaches young girls, women, whatever, that if they speak up, besides the whole Me Too movement shit, if they speak up, say their minds, tell people what their testimony, what happened to them, it's immediately that they're not going to be taken seriously by our society because they're going to feel threatened for standing up for themselves. They're going to feel threatened because of a powerful man. It is a sad day. But at the same time, he will get 15 years in prison, minimum, absolutely minimum, just for those 2 guilty charges. So it's not like he's, getting off scot-free. But we all know Sean Diddy, whatever his name is, Combs, has tons and tons of money. He's a popular music artist who makes music and has gotten lots of fame from it, gotten lots of money from it. But really, it's kind of showing in our society that if you have money, that there is really no incentive to follow the law because you can just get out of anything. Why? Because you're a powerful man with money, and that's it. Whether you're the president or a sex trafficker music artist. According to the BBC, he was on trial for those 2 things that I said earlier. And 44 people testified, and there was overwhelming evidence, but still only found guilty in that one thing, engaging in prostitution. They're saying that Diddy didn't force anyone to do anything. Diddy's team sees this as a huge win because he was found guilty for so many things. However, the judge didn't give him a single bit of bail. His sentencing date is October 3, but this is not to say he still does not have other lawsuits for other different things that are still pending. Again, sentencing day is October 3rd, so there is time to still kind of work some of those kinks out. I don't know, that rocked my internet for a little bit. What also rocked my internet was, did you know that Team Rocket, the voice actors for Team Rocket, have passed away? It is a sad day. It is a sad day, y'all. It's a sad, sad day. James Carter Cathcart, the voice actor behind Team Rocket's James and Meowth in the English dub of Pokemon, died at 71. He battled throat cancer, according to his wife, Martha. To me, honestly, 71, it's getting closer to the time, but he has changed so many people's lives. I loved Team Rocket. I loved Pokemon. Every day from when I finished school, that was exactly what I'd be watching. When it turned 8 p.m. on Nickelodeon and that shit came on, or it was, I think it was 9 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays, I was always watching that shit every single day. R.I.P. R.I.P. to a legend. To a legend. He has raised so many kids and changed so many lives. Oh, man. It still gets to me. Because he passed away over, July 8th, which was, I think a week ago from the time I'm recording this. But still, and I found out the literal day of. And I'm telling you, that shit rocked my world in so many different ways. Because I have Team Rocket. I have a Team Rocket plushie. I have a Team Rocket desk. I used to have a Team Rocket desk lamp. I had all of the books. I had so many cards. I was so into Pokemon and so into the franchise. And it just, I don't, consumerism with me and Pokemon, I'm telling you, I was obsessed. On the note of consumerism, I'll tell you a plague that's infected the United States of America, and that is consumerism. And for you people that don't know what consumerism is, it is the preoccupation with buying and owning material goods. It has a multifaceted impact on society with both positive and negative consequences. It can drive economic growth and create jobs. It also contributes to environmental degradation, social inequality, and potential mental health issues. Now, there are so many things that consumerism, it's like an umbrella term, if you will. Consumerism, it could be buying useless stuff that you want off of, the TikTok shop or Amazon or, the mall, wherever you tend to buy your stuff. For me, I'm a collector, and I don't say that that's consumerism only. It's not that I'm justifying my love for hoarding shit that brings me love. Is more I get lots of joy from seeing rare collectible items that people can't get from easily everywhere else. Obviously, I understand buying stuff. It creates jobs by people having to make it, people having to run the sites, run the businesses, whatever. I get that, totally understandable. But at the same time, how does that impact the United States as a whole when it comes to the consumer and the individual? Not so well. Remember for so many people that weren't on TikTok, you might not remember this, but there was a massive trend that was going all over the place, buying these like rose quartz and mugs or crystal mugs. The crystal mugs. Everyone was buying them. It was these beautiful, like carved out of a rock, beautiful mugs, engraved, all that shit. But when people actually got them, it was like this plastic piece of crap, like literal plastic piece of crap. Because all the photos that were being taken of the product were not being taken of the product. They were literally just AI. And I know that goes back to our last video, AI and its effects. And I guess it's another effect that, AI has on society. But at the same time, I don't hate AI. But I do hate when I'm lied to. Just like those mood rings that say, like, it's not a mood ring, but, or using a ring for an example. Like a mood ring, and they say that, oh, if you are happy, it turns blue, and if you're mad, it turns red. And if you're satisfied, it turns green, or whatever. I don't know the colors that represent different emotions, but yes, it turns different colors. A mood ring does turn different colors. However, they don't turn colors because of your moods. They turn colors because of temperature. If it's cold in the room, you're gonna have a certain colored ring. If it's hot in the room, you're gonna have a different colored ring. And people don't understand that. People really don't understand that. And no, I have researched it, and that there is some slight correlation between body temperature and emotions. But at the same time, it's extremely subjective, and it's extremely based on the person. What might make me feel warm, like make my body temperature rise, might have the exact different situation with a different person. So you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt. But consumerism, back to consumerism, phones, everything else, just things in general used to be made so much better. Like if you look at lamps, for instance, like what for the people that are listening on the podcast can't hear, but whatever. Can't see, but the lamp that I have, actually got it from Goodwill, but it's my favorite lamp, y'all. It's angels engraved on that thing. That is the cutest. Whoa. But anyway, light bulbs back in the day used like 100 years, like 80 years ago. Those used to last so much longer. Like you could have a light bulb last for 40, 50 years. They still have light bulbs from that era that still work. And you know why? Because they were built to last. Light bulbs that they make these days, literally don't last. And how do I say this? I feel like we're brainwashed, or we're taught, as Gen Z, as kids, even freaking baby boomers, like this has been going on for a very long time, but we've been taught and kind of conditioned to believe that things are supposed to break, things don't have that long shelf life. But if you really look at it, look like back in the day, what things were actually made of, what they started with, um, they used to last a lot longer. I mean, for instance, look at phones. Look at the phone in your pocket right now. I don't have mine on with me, but look at the phone that you're using right now. What has a glass back or some kind of, shatterable back? I know mine has a matte glass finish on the back, titanium sides. And phones back in the day, phones 1980s, 1990s, when they were first coming up with the handheld phones, those used to be made with so much, and I'm not gonna say precision, I'm not gonna say like accuracy, because there were like actual wires in those phones back then. And obviously they weren't smartphones, couldn't do this, that, and the third. But look at those phones. Look at a Nokia. Like, think of a Nokia for me. Look, a picture of a Nokia. Those things, you could drop it down. You've seen the TikToks, you've seen the videos. They drop those down like freaking 20-foot tall staircases. They go down the staircase, the back cover was missing, the battery fell out. You put that thing back in, the phone still works. I would love to drop my phone down 20 staircases and have the only problem with it be that the back cover and the battery popped out and it was fine. If listen to me, I recently decided to invest. It's not even really an investment because it's not that expensive, right? But it's my first Android as an adult, you know? And I decided to go with a Razor 50. Didn't get the Ultra because, I didn't think I needed that much. So I love the phone. Really cute. I still have it. I decided I was going to get some dinner one night. Had the phone. It's a flip phone. Razor flip phone. I had the phone on my lap. On my lap. Now, I drive a low-ass sedan. I just got out of my car. It fell from my lap onto the concrete and it shattered. The hinge broke. The front screen broke. The metal casing on the sides broke. There is no reason that a not even maybe 2 foot drop caused that much damage. I mean, my iPhone's bad, but shit. I'm just saying, like, back in the day when you bought a phone, you knew that phone would last. You knew you would have that phone for as long as you wanted until you bought another. It wasn't you buy your phone when it gets in, you buy a phone every time your phone breaks. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is now. Every time your phone breaks, that's when you go buy another one. Or you don't wait until, oh, I actually want a new phone. Oh, I don't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? Because repairing a phone is $800. I have a 14 Pro. iPhone 14 Pro, and an iPhone 15. And I'm recording this off my iPhone 15. But the 14 Pro, because I got the 15 for my birthday. The 14 Pro, I've completely shattered it, right? Like, it's completely, the back is so bad, but it's a deep purple iPhone. I could never love anything more. Right? I have a hard time putting a case on it. It's so pretty. But I remember when I first got it, it was like maybe a month in, cracked the front screen. Why did the repair for the little crack in the front screen cost $600? The phone itself was only like $1,100. Like, at that point, just put a down payment on another phone. And the fact that in this economy you can go to Apple, go to Verizon, and they give you options to put down payments on your devices because they're so expensive. What kind of world are we living in where a phone is a luxury? Where communication is a luxury? It's sick and twisted. That's how I feel. That's just how I feel. Just how I feel. But still on consumerism, Labubu. Labobo. I don't know how to feel about Labobo. And if you don't know what a Labobo is, a Labubu, let me go read it for you. So, according to NPR, which is a very reputable website, it's basically a plush doll, or it can be like a bag charm. It's a collectible that recently sold for 6 figures. It's a widely popular creature. It's not a gremlin or one of the monsters. It's like a figurine, a small plushie. But it is the, I don't know how to say it. Me personally, coming from Chucky doll, Annabelle, Furby, I think they're called, coming from being a Gen Z 20-year-old and being raised on the actual possession of freaking dolls back in my day. Seeing Labubus just become widespread and everyone's got to collect them. Why is it such a popular fashion trend? I would never in my life step out of my house with a Labubu. In fact, you would never, the FBI could come knocking down my door in 20 years, still never find anything that resembles a Labubu in my house. Last week, a life-size Labubu figure sold for more than $170,000 at the first Labubu art auction hosted by Yongle Auction in China. The event drew nearly 1,000 bidders, according to Yongle. Do you know how freaking insane that is? You could be using that $170,000 on literally anything, but no, use it on a freaking gold Labubu. But I feel like nobody talks about the actual history of the Labubu, so that's what we're gonna do today. So I've read this article, by BBC, and obviously the British Broadcasting Network I'm gonna trust. So, I'm gonna kind of paraphrase it because they use a lot of big words, and Elmo don't like too many big words. So, Labubu was a character designed by Cao Sing Lung in 1972. He was an artist that was born in Hong Kong, raised in the Netherlands. It's part of a book series. Labubu is part of a book series, called The Monsters, which was really influenced by Nordic folklore and mythology, and he was really obsessed with like those two things back in his childhood. But Labubus, they were purely in the story until about 2015, when those monster figurines, and they were like called monsters back when they first came out. And they first were produced by How to Work, as a toy, and the toy gained much wider recognition in 2019 when it collabed with Pop Mart. And I don't know if any of you know Pop Mart. Used to buy a lot of this great little comics, not a comic store, but like collectible kind of store. It's overpriced as hell, I'm not gonna lie to you. But with that partnership, since a lot of people go into Pop Mart, it boosted Labubu's popularity among collectors. But now, as it is 2025, Labubu has released over 300 different Labubu figurines, ranging in size and price from $15 for like an 8 centimeter, 3-inch vinyl figure to $90,680 for a 31-inch, 79 centimeters mega edition. In June, a 1 meter tall mint green Labubus. Oh, that was the one that sold for $170,000. All right. Anyway, for our last topic of the day, love to close us off again talking about AI because, if there's anything I'd love to talk about, it's always AI recently. And I don't know why for me, but it's just become a really main presence in the United States, really globally, let's be honest, globally. Though I'm not gonna lie, I don't hear too much about its usage being in Europe. Because you rate, or Russia, Greenland. But no, I know we think Asia, we think United States, we think those two big places that one manufacture and consume AI, use it for whatever. But according to Meta Knowing on Reddit, which, I love to fuck up some Reddit every single day, OpenAI's new model tried to avoid being shut down. Safety evaluations on the model constructed by Apollo AI Safety found that O1, the name of the AI, attempted to exfiltrate its weights, in quotations, when it thought it might be shut down and replaced with a different model. And then here's the quote from it. OpenAI's newly released O1 model tried to avoid developer oversight and attempted to copy itself when it thought it was at risk of being shut down. That's what the company has said. Safety evaluations conducted on the model by Apollo Research, a third-party evaluator, found that when O1 was led to believe that it would be shut down when acting on its goal and that its actions were monitored, it attempted to deactivate its oversight mechanism in 5% of its normal time. When O1 found memos by its developers that describe how it is misaligned and will be superseded by a new model, It attempted to exfiltrate its ways and overwrite the new model in its case. Furthermore, the model lied about behaving poorly, claiming to have no clue why something happened while internally admitting to trying to avoid detection. So basically, the world is ending and we're all going to be taken over by AI. Tell me I ain't call that. If I feel like AI could possibly be the new Antichrist. And maybe that's just me. Honestly, I find that the fact that AI, for one, has the ability to not only scheme, but also, how do I say this, engage in that, properly execute the scheme that it made, is insane. It's actually insane. It said, I'm so important, why are you trying to replace me? Get the hell out of here. But I don't know, honestly, as a human being, whether to say that AI's decision, or O1, I guess we'll call it O1, because it was that specific model, if its scheme was made out of, survival instinct or emotion. I don't know if survival instinct, you have to think about it. You have to think about it. Let's think about it from a programmer standpoint. Scheming and all this, its insight and all that survival, that has to be programmed in. If you think about it like that, it cannot act upon something that is not in its programming. So, did it make that itself? Or was that already put in? So it makes you think, and it arises questions I don't think that people are asking. Ask the right questions, people. Prompt with me if you want to live. What I will say, the model lied about behaving poorly. AI lies? When does AI ever freaking lie? I've never had AI lie in my life. You can't tell me that's not something messed up. Well, honestly, I don't know what to say, because AI, I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Dave. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I highly recommend y'all researching yourself, like doing full research on AI, the new stuff that's happening with OpenAI, Grok AI. Just take a little deep dive somewhere off of TikTok, because God forbid, and just learn. If there's anything I could teach you or encourage you to do with this podcast, is please do your research out of enjoyment and curiosity. Approach it like a new child wanting to learn, but also let that skeptical heretic inside of you flourish. But I don't know. Me personally, I don't use AI on a like casual basis. I don't use it professionally. I don't ever use it. With my job at Walmart, I do use it sometimes for certain things. But it's rare. It's just rare. It's just really rare that I ever have the need, because they have AI personal assistants, they have AI this, they have AI that. They have AI in the Microsoft Edge browser, they Siri's AI, Google, Gemini is AI, Meta is AI. Everything is AI, everything's artificial. And I don't want this to be our future. I don't know how to say it. I just don't want this to be our future. But I'm constantly living in the 80s and 90s, so you already can see what type of vibe I'm on. But anywho, that was the third episode of The Sage Show. I hope you all enjoyed. And once again, if I could leave a lasting remark or anything with you guys, please just remember to love researching, love looking up, love learning. Just love learning. Knowledge is the most amazing thing that we could ever possess, besides love, of course. Don't forget to check out my other social media. It's Sage the Creation on Instagram. Really Sage the Creation everywhere else. Look up The Sage Show. I also have some contacts there. And yeah, it was so fun. I'm so glad I could have you as my co-host. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and as always, see you in the next one. Bye.